Hello friends. I don't know if you're gonna... Oh, I have one hair there. If you can hear this. Do you hear this? I'm curious to know if you hear this vibration. This is the tuning forks of the home. Can you hear it? I'm curious because when I do that it's very strong, but I wonder if you can hear this. Do you hear this? So this is interesting. I have my friend Sandra who is doing session. If you are in LA or area, let me know if you want to have a session of tuning forks, because it's really remarkable and I love it, and she's great in doing that. So I want to share something with you. I just had a long nap, and I decided to use, I wanted to sleep, and I said, okay, I don't resist, I'm gonna go. So, and I said, oh, why I don't use my little Trinity Pro? I did a video some months ago about that, and I used it, and I'm experimenting. So I was using it mostly when I travel in March for, you know, the jet lag recovery and all that, and it works very well. And after, when I came back and I was so down, I used it to also to recover from herpes that I had on my lips, cold sore, and that I really have some quite regularly since I had the shingles. So I said, okay, I'm going to use it on shingles condition, and I did it for a couple of months, and I must say that I had only one blister in like 3-4 months now, and it did not evolve like it was used to evolve. Before it was like, you know, after it's red and thing, and I don't take medicine for that, so I try to heal naturally. But this time it was directly going to the dry stage, and it was gone. It never been inflamed, and this is interesting. So I guess it helps, you know, and I'm gonna continue to do that. And I decided to, you know, investigate a little bit other functions. There are so many functions. So I used, for my nap, I took the function that is about psyche relaxation. I said, oh, okay, it has been unbelievable. The session, the program lasts 1 hour 45. And I was also putting my consciousness in my body before falling asleep, really like relaxing and all that. And I did an amazing dream, such a beautiful dream. It was the afternoon, end of afternoon, like now, and the window was open, and blue colombe, how do we say in English? It's this pigeon, but you know, the beautiful one that has this light purple, rosewood color. But this one was instead, or white, they exist in white as well. And this one was gray and blue, a beautiful blue, the same blue as the jay. And I was surprised to see a pigeon this color. So I was even more surprised when the pigeon came here on my left shoulder, in my neck, and was like just cocooning with me in my neck. And it was so vivid. I could feel his warmth, I could feel the feathers, and I wanted to take it in my hands, but I didn't want to hurt him, but he was staying. And I said, I'm going to do a video to share this moment. But it was difficult because I was wondering maybe he's going to go away. So I tried to take my phone and I could not because I was holding the bird and I could not in the same time using my phone. So it was like, what am I going to do? And at a moment the bird went away and I thought he will fly away. And no, he stays in my apartment and he looks like very comfortable. And I went towards the bird and I took him in my hands and he stays there. And suddenly I felt in my body that he was thirsty. And I was thinking, I said, it's normal he's thirsty. It's a fish. And it's out of water since a long time now. So I pour water in a beautiful little cup that I have. And I put the bird fish above it, and it was weird because he had the body of the bird that I was holding in my hands, but when I put him close to the water, his head was the mouth of a fish, and he was drinking, and I felt after a while that he was satisfied. So I let it here and I said, okay, I'm going to prepare my phone because I saw he was not going away. So I prepared my phone and I saw it's almost no light. I'm going to go and do the live outside. And when I put the phone outside, there is a white parrot who came just to stay with me there. And I was like, I cannot believe it. Now I have two birds, one blue and one white. And when I wanted to start the live, I wake up. I was like, I cannot believe now. So I said, okay, I'm going to do a live. It's not about that, but it's about something that, an experience that I had yesterday. And I think it's linked with the dream. I'm listening these days quite a lot of podcasts of Eckhart Tolle. And as I guess a lot of you know who is Eckhart Tolle, and also you may know also by, a lot of people around were speaking about the fact that we have, as human beings, around 40,000 thoughts a day. And these thoughts are not coming from us in a way. And they are crossing our mind. And they say that on this 40,000 thoughts, I think it's a percentage like 80% that are negative. So this really, I knew that before, I heard that before, but I said, I'm curious because I have the feeling I'm quite very present and I am in silence and I live alone. And I don't have the feeling I have a lot of negative thoughts. So I say, I have a kind of negative thought about my little belly that is there. But it's not an obsession. It's not so terrible. And I was wondering, I have to observe myself to see when I am thinking what I am thinking. I was in that yesterday. I wake up with that. And I went to the farmer's market and I was alone. My friend Gaia is not there. So I drove. And when I drive, usually when I am in transportation and when I drive, it's like at a moment, I define that like that. It's like the higher self take control. So it's like there is an automatic pilot. I'm present. And it's because I'm very present that there is this sensation of being even a little bit stepping back, but feeling the space, but beyond the space, and alert about what is around the car and all that. So it's a very pleasant feeling of presence. And I spoke some months ago about an experience on the highway with a big storm. And the fact to be so present, because we were driving very slowly, suddenly a bush, just an enormous bush, arrived in front of my car, and it was like flowing by itself. I went on the right, I saw just car were in the back. I put my light, went on the right, up, and avoid that like by magic. So this is about presence. So I go to the farmer's market, and here I am thinking, when you think about something, you have to notice what it is. And I'm like, it's weird. I'm not thinking really. And I understood something. And I did the same experience when I was at the market and when I came back. In fact, there is no room for this thought, negative thought. And you know why? I was like, yes, it's evident. It's because when I drive, I'm so present to everything around that I can see the tiny flower there, I can see the bush there, I can see the cloud, I can see all these beauties, and I'm like absorbed by these beauties. So that way there is no room for negative thought, because I'm just observing around and finding beauties everywhere. So I understood that my way to function is like that. So I understood that there is no room for negative thought, like castrating thought or like the sabotage things. This, I don't know about these things. So I arrived to the farmer's market, and it was like I expanded myself. I was at like a watchtower, and and I know when we observe, this is also something that has been done by scientists, when you observe an atom and particle, they notice that the particles change behavior. So I was thinking, okay, it's because I observe myself that in a way I change my behavior. And I became very positive. So I let it go. And I had no reason to have negative thought. I saw these beautiful fruits and vegetables and smiled to people, say hi and that. And there is no room for negative thought. So I said, okay, now I have to go to Home Depot. And I'm going to drive again, and I'm going to practice. So I did that, and it's when I finished to drive, I arrive at Home Depot and I drive home, that I realized that phenomenon. In fact, when you are absorbed, really present to what is surrounding you, and it can be just the quality of the light, even the rain or anything, a sound of a bird, the sound of the wind, like today we have a lot of wind, just to be present to what is there, to what you are part of, doesn't let room for negative thought to come. And when they come, I often say this in my live video, because sometimes it can be fears, if I can say, because this is not something that is in my vocabulary. Fears, worried, scared. No, this is a kind of frequency I don't connect to. But sometimes I can feel fears coming. And I'm human being like other human being. But I see what the fear could teach me, eventually to prevent something. I'm not scared. But also, if it's a fear that can be really scary, if we can say, I put it in a circle in my mind and I cross it. This has it's interdit, it's forbidden to be in my mind. And it works. So this is something very easy to do. As the same thing I told you before, it's very easy to do. Instead of being in your thought like this, racing, just be present with what is around, the sensation of your body, the amazing thing to be alive and to be able to see and to feel. This morning I was in the sun, and just that, I had no room for negative thought. And some people say, yeah, because you have a beautiful life, but I could also see the bad in a lot of things. How many times I've been beaten by these fire ants, and it's painful for many days. No, I said, okay, it's gonna pass, and maybe it's because my higher self guided that to have this, because maybe I need this formic acid for my body. So, and this built my immune system stronger. And this, so I always look for the positive, the good side of things, even when they are not really easy to go through. And I had, strong experiences in my life. And it's that I wanted to share that with you. I remember I was living in the city, and I found beauty in the city as well. It could be in the light, in reflection in a window, a part of sky in between buildings, or in New York we have this big metallic stained steel or metallic iron board. They are ironed, and they are like sculpture, and the light on, I was seeing these like art pieces. So maybe it's because I'm a visual artist, and this visualization, this thing that I see outside, resonate inside of me in terms of beauty. But it's really, if you are not used to, try to train you with that. There is, I don't know if I have, maybe I have this one here. So for example, this stone is a stone. You see, I've been attracted because I saw its shape like an heart shape. And it was on the ground. I found this in Texas desert, in a very special place. These stones are like sculpture. So this is a simple stone. But the shape attracted me on the ground. I took the stone, and look what is in the other side. So how can we do this? How can we just, there is always a hidden side of things. When things are delayed, for example, I have some, administrative things, or I do what I can, but after it's not up to me, because the universe is going to make it in a way that it's going to be resolved when it's the right time. But I do my part. I do what I can do. I do, if I have feels to, claim to feel and all that I don't like to do, but I do it. I do it even, I don't postpone, I do it as soon as I can. And after, it's not up to me, but at least I've done my part. And after, the universe unfolds when it's the right time. When there is delay, for example, in something, you had an appointment, it's delay. Or I remember a long time ago when I was in Malibu and I was going regularly in audition, sometimes I don't know why, I forgot something at home. I had to go back at home. I said, I'm going to be late. Oh my goodness. And I don't like to be late. And no, everything was flowing. And I was like, oh, maybe I avoid an accident. Maybe my higher self make me forget that thing to make me go back home. And during that time, maybe I avoid an accident somewhere or something. And like by chance, I was not late because where I was going, they were late. So everything was in perfect order. So I understood that. And it was not for complaisance with myself. It was just that let go with the flow. Don't judge yourself. Don't be negative with yourself about these things. Because if, for example, you are turning around and don't know maybe what to wear or this, or you change your mind, who knows the delay that you get, what could eventually happen during if you were not delayed. So this is something that, for me, it makes my life much easier, much peaceful, much simple. It's quite pleasant. There is like a flow, there is like a current that is bringing me here and there where I have to go, and just... So I was listening a card, and he was saying that when we are in that state where there are no negative thought or less negative thought, it's not our mindset to be on negative, there is a kind of miracle that is happening. It's that we can get, because there is no distraction, we can get information with our inner wisdom inside. And this is quite magical, because this brings a lot of peace. I remember in 2018 when we had the fire, my landlord and I, she's an older woman, older than me, and we didn't fail to evacuate, and we stay and we took care of the house. And it was like a lot of peace. It was very calm. Because there is this, when you are present to yourself, intimate with yourself, there is this intimate and strong connection with other dimension of yourself, the one you cannot see. But that doesn't mean if you cannot see it, that it's not existing and it's not present. It's, for me, it's the magic of life, it's that. And it works, for me, it works very well. And as far as I can remember, it's like I knew intuitively this process. I had so many life experiences where it could seem dramatic, but where deep inside I knew what was right for me. And I went for it. Because it's like something inside of me who knows that if I don't do what is right for me, I'm going to be really in trouble. So this is very important. Even if it seems crazy for people around you, I spoke about that many times, but it's like more age, more I live experiences. And I must say that these late years, I really have the feeling it's the most beautiful years of my life. I have absolutely no pain in my body, and I am aging, and I have absolutely no pain. And this is something I was not knowing when I was younger. But this is because there is more letting go, there is less judgment, less negativity with myself. And this is because when you are on this negative thought, you lower your frequency, you lower your vibration. Oh, I'm old. I'm 67. I will be 68 in December. And you lower your frequency and your vibration, and after you resonate with things that are on a lower frequency and vibration, it's the same thing. We have really to realize, to self-realize that we are electromagnetic beings. We are electric. We have a frequency, maybe, and it's invisible. It's like you have ultrasound and ultralight, and you don't see them. And it's the same. We are that as well. And I was seeing something recently about someone was saying that she has been contacted by higher beings. And for me, I don't see that like that. I see that we are multidimensional beings, and these symbols of this image that we have of light beings, at a certain point it's us. It's a higher dimension of ourselves. Our angels are there all the time, but it's a higher part of ourselves. It's something, because outside of the body, it's one consciousness. It's one supreme intelligence. It's the divine, the source of the divine, and we are all from that source. So at one point, it's all us. And this makes sense of what Eckhart was saying in one of these discussion. It's about that we have the whole universe inside of us. And this is really, for me, what I feel. We are just limited because we have the limitation of the body that is a lower vibration. But we can create with our mind the perception we have and the mindset we have gonna create our reality. And it's very powerful. And this starts by very simple thing. The very simple thing is to be present, to be incarnated in your body, to really feel and have appreciation for this amazing body, how it's working, and to feel the breath. You know, I often spoke about that. I realized in my early 30s that I was not breathing, but I was breathed. I was breathed because I have no control on that. Yes, I can control cycles, and I did some experiment, quite interesting. I spoke about that in my video and all that. But it's not that control. We cannot decide to stop breathing and to die. We are breathed. And when that breath gonna go away, it will be when it's the time that it goes away. We have no control about that. I guess if we are very present towards the end of our life, when it's going to be time to change dimension, we can feel that something is different. We can feel that the breath is different, I guess. But for that, we have to be used to be intimate with ourselves, to be present, to be out of distraction, to be out of pollution, of any kind of distraction. And I don't say to be a nun, it's not about that, or to be a monk, you know. It's just that give to yourself time in a day, even 10 minutes, 15 minutes, just to be in that connection, this intimate connection. It's like you bring everything and you recenter that. I remember a very interesting experience I shared also several times. When I was in the Middle East some years ago, like 15 years ago, I was in Dubai, and I was seeing, you know, I love long dresses, as you know. I love to wear long dresses. So I'm like a fish in water there. And I said, I'm going to have the experience of being totally covered in black. So I did. At my big surprise, I had the feeling that I was with that veil and that shawl black that I have. It was a linen shawl, and I was totally covered in my black linen kaftan. And it was a wonderful feeling. It's like I regroup all my inner force, my inner strength, and it was just for me. And I had the feeling I was like a watchtower. And it was really a great, great feeling. So, sure, I connect to the symbol of black. It's about also the femininity and the mystery, and it's like the fertile soil of the Nile in Egypt. It was a sacred color. Because of that, it's the one who are bringing life. It's the one that is bringing life and that is creating life. We create life in a secret cave, you know. It's darkness. It's like, it's mysterious. It's l'œuvre noire, we said in French. It's a black I don't know how you say this in English, alchemy that is there, and we live this. So this was a very interesting experience, because also when you are wearing things that are attractive the eyes of others, or when, this is also something I love, because I hear some here and there women, they say, I'm not transparent, it's not because I'm aging, I'm transparent. I never feel transparent, but I love to be less attractive than before. And it's like I lose less my energy. It's like it's more fluid. It's a wonderful feeling. Because maybe for what I said before, when something or someone on an atom is observed unconsciously, his behavior, his attitude is changing. Because there are so many interactions, unconscious or conscious, ego thing. But when you age and that you don't have this thing to attract like younger, and it's for that I love also these long dresses. It's more, I think it's noble, it reflects really the aura. It's fluid, it goes with the movement and the wind and movement of the body. It has some magic there. That is not when you are, and I wear shorts as well, I'm not, like strict and with my long dresses, but I love to wear long dresses a lot. I feel my highness. I feel, kind of inner power, highness, grandeur, we said in French, nobleness. And I guess it's the beauty of my essence, my divine essence that I manifest in this physical reality. And the clothes at the beginning, men and women has these long clothes because they represent the aura around the body. And maybe it's for that I feel really good in these shawls or in these dresses, because it's aligned with my being, it's aligned with my divine being. It's like manifesting that, making this existing in this realm, in the physical. So this is, I've been beyond what I wanted to share with you, but this is the thing. Try to see beauty even in the texture of anything. It can be, I bought this bowl at the thrift store, 50 cents. They are magical to me, and I can use them, and I have them all around, and round things also bring you in another dimension more than cut and sharp one. So look at that, you see? And this can just, like when you put your food in a plate. I love to go to the thrift store and find plate that nobody wants and that costs nothing, that I found beautiful. And like this, I set up my food, and when I do that, there is no room for negativity. So it's this, beauty for me is a manifestation of the divine in the physical realm. So I realize as well that my mind is used to create things, clothes or images that I see, and it's always working in that creative way. I don't use my mind to build on negativity. It's and my creation, the creation I have in my mind, is quite a problem, because I don't have I may have, but I have so many ideas, so many things. I'm going to do that with that fabric. I'm going to do that. I'm going to knit this. And I have all this material to make things, but it takes time to make them in the real world with my little hands. So it's for that I'm never thinking negativity, because I'm always in that flow of beautiful texture. I surround myself with what I found, beautiful textures and things and that are precious to me. And this is like interacting non-stop with me, with the beauty. I have this found beautiful thing that I found on Etsy. It's like a dandelion that is in plexiglass, so it's not natural, but I love it. And there is, you can put on a light. There is a light to put it on. So I had that, and I love how the light is working through this. I have another one. This is a rock crystal, and it's magic to me. And I pass, and oh, the light changes, and it takes another shape, and this is what makes my life beautiful. It seems crazy, and I don't speak about outside. I see the rocks, I see the sun all day long, or the rain on the landscape, and I'm fascinated. It's changing all the time, and it's beautiful all the time. And I never be bored of it. I cannot. It's wonderful feeling. It's a wonderful feeling to be alive. So I am appreciating, and I am in gratitude. And I guess this is like a dynamo. It feeds itself. And even something that can be disturbing, I say, okay, it's going to pass. I do what I can. And I'm amazed. Every single day there is something new. There is something unexpected, like solutions and things. And I'm amazed. I got messages, and it's quite fantastic. It's a fantastic time to be alive, in fact. And we came in this time to have the experience as it is today, now. So more you are in that way to be and this mindset, less you're going to be affected by what is going on, the big mess that is going on outside. And it's not finished. It's going to be messier and messier. So you have really to brace yourself, to be with yourself, to take care of yourself, to eat properly, to think properly, to don't be affected by this low vibration, low frequency that are going on in the world. And it's for that you have always people that are crossing this and doesn't seem to be touched by it. Because you're going to make choices, more you are in tune with this wholeness of yourself, more you're going to be guided, and more it's going to be easy, even in the difficult time. And you're going to find solution. Because for me, when there is a challenge, I take it like a stimulation for me to create something out of it, to say, okay, there is that, what I can do, and sometimes surrender. Do what you can and surrender. Forget about it. Try to put it, I always said, you take like a bag, you imagine you take this thing that is in your mind and you put it in a bag and you say, okay, I give you 3 days there, and you forget about it. It's an exercise. It doesn't come by itself, but try it. And 3 days, as I said, it's the metaphor of the path of the Christ, this Christic energy that we are all crossed. It's an energy in the universe. So it's the path. I'm not speaking about the Catholic religion here. I'm speaking about the Christic energy. And this is that metaphor of crucifixion to resurrection is what we do. It's this process we are worked, and this process make us evolving spiritually. And it's that when I hear people who said we are waiting for the return of the Christ, do it inside of you right now. Don't wait for it. It's right now, in you, in your life. Go on this light energy, energy of light. It's about that, a crystal. This is light that is manifested, that is concrete, that is, I would say, incarnated, but in mineralated, you know. So this is pure light. It's an entity. It's not something inert. So it's that. The Christic energy is connected to this light crystalline state inside of us. How can we be of light? How can we enlighten our life with using our mind properly? Not in a negative way, but in a way that this challenge we go through, if we take them in by a different side, we can see that they are, in a way, the catalyst for us to develop other faculties, to be more creative, to found, to reverse, to do the alchemy, or reverse something that is heavy and negative in something light and easy and beautiful and positive, if we can say negative and positive. It's the two poles of the same thing. So it's like the stone, you see, there is that and there is that. So it's the same, and we are also like that. As we are a symbol, we have both sides, and until we integrate these both sides and we are intimate and we do this interior wedding, there is no peace. And this is the thing, we have to do this wedding with the part of ourselves that we criticize and we don't like and that we reject, and transform that, do the metamorphose of that, and get the benefits of that. And this makes life much easier and beautiful and magic. So this is what I wanted to share with you, and comes to me something else, but I'm going to stop here and I will do another live about that subject, that topic that I want to speak about, because I have my vision about what is going on in the world, especially in the Western countries. So I am processing that. It's maturing. I see things differently now than last year or 2 years ago, and even 3 and even 5. It's like something is evolving inside of me, and I'm gonna do a video about that. Voila. So I thank you very much for listening and watching my delirium, if I can say delirium, to, you know, pulling the thread. And sometimes it can seem like going in every direction, but I am like that. So try to follow what you can, and maybe you're gonna get some options or something. Oh yeah, me too, I'm like that. For sure, I'm like that. We are all like that. We all have this connection to spirit and to our wholeness. Yeah, just the thing is that we are aware or not. But we are all. There is no one that is more spiritual than someone else. It's not about that. It's not a quantity. We are all spiritual beings, and all different. And this is the beauty of it, because we are all a different, an exclusive expression of the divine essence. Our source of the divine source. We are like little drops of water, and they are all the same. But somewhere they are all different. They have all maybe a different information, and it's who we are, and it's quite fantastic. Voilà.